Hey, it's Brittany Chanel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys 8 books that have really impacted me as a mother, as a wife, and as a parent. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I would love comments about if you've read any of these books right down below. Feel free to comment and share your reviews or what you loved about the books that I shared today. So the first book that I'm going to talk about is The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. I absolutely love this book. If you haven't read it, it's a popular book, so most people have read it. But if you haven't, this book is amazing. I didn't realize that we all have different love languages, and mine is quality time. That's one of the languages in here, and just knowing how to show the other person love is important. And sometimes we show people love the way we want to receive love when that's not always the case for the other person. So the next book that I'm going to talk about is called The Gifts of Imperfections by Brene Brown. I love Brene, and especially this book because I tend to be a perfectionist, which if you are like me and you too are one of those people who thinks everything has to be perfect, you really will get a lot out of this book because she talks about the 10 guideposts to help you embrace who you are. So definitely grab this book if you're a perfectionist like me so that you can learn that everything doesn't need to be perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay for things to not always go exactly as you want planned, but that you can embrace who you are and live an amazing life by just following the guideposts that she talks about in this book. So the next book is called The Magic of Thinking Big, and it is by David Schwartz. And this book is amazing. If you want to live a big life, if you want to live a thriving life, if you want to leave everything here on earth and not leave knowing that you didn't give it all you got, this is the book for you. Okay, so this book, The Lady in Waiting, by Debby Jones and Jackie Kendall. Oh my goodness, if you are single, if you're still looking and waiting for Mr. Right, you have to read this book. There's different versions that have come out. There's some that have a study with it where you can input personalized things yourself. But this book helped me when I was single, before I got married, of just discovering and loving myself and how to prepare myself for Mr. Right. Because a lot of times as singles, you're trying to find Mr. Right versus preparing yourself and developing yourself to be Mrs. Right for that Mr. Right. So I definitely recommend any single lady to read this book. The next book is Wired That Way by Marita Littauer. And this book is all about different personality types. And this book was important for me because, first of all, I laughed learning about my own personality type because there's a quiz that you take in here that helps you figure out what combination of personality you have. But it also comes to play if you're a parent and you have kids, or if you have a spouse. It helps you to understand other people because if you have kids, you know your kids. So you'll pick up on what personality they have without making them take the test. And it helps you learn how to discipline them, how to parent them in each and every area, but it also helps you learn to thrive in each and every area of your life as well. So the next book is Parenting with Purpose. This one is especially for parents, obviously. But even if you're not a parent yet and you plan to be a parent, reading this book will put you ahead of the game. It's by Paul and Billie Tsika. And reading this book, it helped me to understand that we're not just raising kids, we're raising future adults. And so that's why it's parenting with purpose. The purpose is preparing them for adulthood, teaching them things, building their character to make sure that they're responsible adults that can advance society. After all, they're the next generation that are going to be the next lawyers, presidents, all of those things. So it's important that we understand how to parent them with purpose. So this next book is really special. It's called Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Meyer. Everybody, almost everyone in the world has heard of Joyce Meyer. And this book is special to me because I've gone through difficult seasons where I really battled in my mind, whether it was through depression, anxiety, and just different things like that. And reading this book really helped me to understand that I can have control over my mind, over my thoughts and learning how to take captive my thoughts and learning how to keep control of my mind so that I don't go into depression or that I don't go into anxiety. And if I do, and if that does happen, really how to take it back, even though it can be hard sometimes, but we have the power to control our mind and fight that battle against the odds that are against us. And last but certainly not least is Switch on Your Brain by Dr. Caroline Leaf. This book is amazing. If you've ever just wanted to understand how your brain works in the most scientific way, but also the most biblical way possible, this book is for you. She breaks down just how the brain is wired and relates it to scripture like nothing I've ever seen before. And she has something in here called a brain detox. So if you feel like your brain is just like going through some things where your mind just can't grab a hold of itself, you can do the brain detox that can help you just get all back refocused and help you be able to move forward in whatever you're doing. So make sure you grab a hold of this book. And also just thank you so much for tuning in with me today. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you don't forget to leave your comments on the books that you maybe have read that I've mentioned. Also, what is your favorite book? Share with me what your favorite book is. I would love to know. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be talking to you soon.